Hey gang, DVD Collector back in the movie room, and let's talk about what I watched recently. Kind of a random review of the film The Monster, directed by Brian Bertano. I'm saying that right? Yeah, Bertino. Starring Zoe Kazan and Ella Ballantine. Ella plays the young daughter in there. Hadn't seen her in anything before. Zoe is, of course, the mother. Well, not of course, because you don't know anything I'm talking about yet. The film is about, of course, a monster. It's in the title, but more, it's an indie horror film that I feel is more of a drama than a true horror film. We don't see horror right off the bat, and we see a lot of flashbacks that let us know about certain things. First and foremost, the mother is very young, so obviously she had this child at a very young age. She's also an alcoholic and a chain smoker. The daughter, who is roughly 12, 11, 12, maybe 13 years old, does everything. She is responsible for her mother. She cleans the house. She's basically the adult in the situation. They don't have a very good relationship. It's very strained because of all this and how she's grown up with this alcoholic mother and her new husband. And then they are going on a road trip. They're taking her to her real father to visit. So, after some really slight moments of trying to get her aroused to go, she finally wakes up in the afternoon and they go on their trip, which means that they're going to be crossing through the area between their house and their father's house in the nighttime, which brings us into the monster. Very simplistic, very uh, almost unoriginal story, but that's not fair to say. It's a classic breakdown in the middle of the woods, attacked by something storyline, but it's got so much more in it. I fell in love with this movie because of my love of not only indie horror movies, but slow burning horror movies. And like I said, this has got a lot of elements of being a drama as well as a horror movie. The cool thing about this, well, let's get to this first. Driving down the road, of course, at dark, they hit an animal in the road, spin out, blow a tire, and they're stranded. Now, while all this is going on, and throughout the latter part of the film, there are a lot of flashbacks that take us back to their strained relationship, which is, of course, why I kind of call this more of a drama than a horror film. It just shows how bad of a mother she was, how incapable of actually raising a child she was. Shows the strain on their relationship. I mean, it does. It goes back and forth with her being mean, her drinking, stuff like that. And then we bring the monster in, and he is frightening. He attacks a tow truck driver. He takes the dog, which is what they hit, back into the woods, and then we start seeing more and more of him, and he's totally frightening. He does look almost identical to that monster on the cover. Okay, it's all practical. It is a suit, but I have to say, with the lighting and the rain and the darkness of the film, even though it's very well lit for darkness, I have to say that this monster looks terrifying, menacing, and does not look like a suit whatsoever. The director, Brian Bertino, also directed The Strangers, which is a brilliant film. So I'm almost positive that he brought the best part of this film together. That and casting, lighting, the story, everything to me was great. Now I've read reviews on this throughout the day today after I watched it, and it's getting horrible reviews. There are some that really liked it. IMDb, which I use as a reference for names, and if I reviews on, actually more I read the synopsis than the reviews on this, just to see if it's something I'm interested in. I think IMDb gave it a 5.3 out of 10, which I don't agree with whatsoever. You may agree with this. You may think it stinks. Do not go and buy this film because I said it's awesome. It's it's on Netflix. It's on my friend Jay the Stingray on here. I read earlier. He said it's on Amazon Prime for free if you have Amazon, or Amazon Video if you have Amazon Prime. So check it out that way. I mean, that way you're not out the money. I was willing to give it a try because I love horror movies. I love indie horror movies. I love to give them a chance, especially after I've read about them and read some of the better reviews on this that aren't just trashing an indie horror film. They were actually telling us, you know, this movie is an amazing movie, but here are the pros and cons. Those are the type of reviews I like to read on films like this. And the pros were enough for me to watch it. So, like I said, I was very happy with this film. Very glad I bought it. It will be a definite second watch soon because I want to catch more of the dialogue. It's great dialogue. I read one review said where it was stale. I don't see that at all. The only problem I had with this at all was towards the end, and I'm not going to spoil anything. No, I'm not even going to say that because it's not even. It's me picking. It's me trying to tell you this was not good. This movie is not for everyone. It is, like I said, it is a slow burn. It is a kind of alien feel to it, a hunt film, a creature feature, but more or less it's about this relationship and not about the monster itself. It's more about what if there were monsters, if that makes any sense whatsoever. How would people deal with this monster? I mean, it doesn't focus on the monster itself. You don't just watch it. You'll get what I'm trying. I'm trying to say stuff without giving too much away, but you can shut the video off right now because I'm going to say something that you may or may not need to know. So shut it off. Watch the film. But when I'm talking about the monster and the characters being more important, is you never find out anything about the monster. You don't find out where it's from. You don't find out what made it or what it is or anything like that. It's about two people dealing with if a monster existed. It's not about a monster. It's not like this is a scientific experiment gone bad. No, it's a monster that's in the wood that attacks a fucking car because the car hit one of its prey. Probably doesn't have a lot of cars stop on this road, and it seeks more food. So, like I said, it's not about a monster. It's about how people would deal with a monster if it exists. So, there it is. So, if you like monster movies, check it out. If you like slow burn, intense monster movies, check it out. If you like dialogue, good dialogue, and a good drama with a monster mix in it, check it out. So until next time, guys,